All right, back with another episode of the Causeway Street podcast. We got the full crew in the building. Joel Pavon's in the flesh. What's up, Joel? What's going on?
What up?
Where you been, buddy?
Sean Dutra, you know that voice from anywhere, right?
What's
guys?
up?
At this point of your favorite Celtics podcast, Causeway Street, the crew is back because we got plenty to talk about.
Call him Jim Shady.
I mean, for starters, the Celtics put together a win. They're still a 500 team by my estimation because I still don't count that Phoenix Suns game as a win, but that's not a here or there. I mean, face it, this is a 500 team, guys. This is what we're dealing with. The Celtics are a 500 team. They do come home, but we have to talk about what has led them to this point. Of course, we will break that down. Also, we'll talk about the new starting lineup that we saw against the Pelicans. Is this the lineup that Brad Stevens needs to implement moving forward? We'll break that down. Also, we'll talk about Anthony Davis, a name that's been surrounded the Celtics for the last 2-3 years, it seems like. He had a pretty good game against the Celtics Monday night. Still managed to be a loss. And the report of him putting together a short list of destination teams that he's willing to be traded to also reported last week after our last episode. So we'll also break that down. And we'll ask the question, are you willing to see Anthony Davis in a Celtics uniform this season without Kyrie Irving? I'll explain more in a little bit. So there's a little tease for you guys.
Oh, wow. A little teaser there, huh?
But let's talk about this game. First things first, of course. New starting lineup. Marcus Morris, Marcus Smart, Kyrie Irving, Jason Tatum, and Al Horford took the floor Monday night against the Pelicans. Easily their most productive lineup in terms of their offense. I mean, they scored 124 points. It's the most that they scored all season long. But also defensively, you saw a lot of things done on the defensive end because of Marcus Smart. And I'm so happy that Brad Stevens finally put him into the lineup. The first time he started Marcus Smart this season, and we saw the immediate effects of that start.
Did he really have a choice, though? With Jaylen Brown out and Gordon Hayward now all coming off the bench, who else was he going to put there?
Yeah, he could have put Rozier in.
He could have put Rozier in. He could have put, he could have went bigger and went with the Baines lineup along with Marcus Morris. But I think the reason why he was put into the game was because he was one of the few bright spots of Saturday night's loss against the Mavericks. I think that had a lot to do with it too.
Well, yeah, I agree with that. But also with Morris now in the starting lineup, I mean, you don't have much bench production if you're going to put in Rozier, right? In terms of offense.
No, man, I think Marcus Morris should be a permanent starter in this lineup.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, if he's in the starting
permanent starter.
Like, if he's in the starting lineup, Jaylen Brown is out because of,
Yeah, you get your boy Gordo. Get your boy Gordo coming off the bench now.
Yeah, I mean, he's your go-to option off the bench at this point because until Rozier gets out of this funk, I mean, those two.
But I think he played pretty well against the Pelicans, Rozier.
Yeah, he did, but I think a lot of that had to do with the fact that Marcus Morris wasn't there. I mean,
Can I ask you
the options?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, with no Jaylen Brown, so like everybody kind of gets more minutes.
I think the key to this isn't whether Marcus Smart starting, Terry Rozier starting, Marcus Morris starting. It's the fact that Jaylen Brown didn't play. I think that's really where we need to look at.
But
that's really where we need to look at.
Come on, man. Jaylen's been getting out of his funk. He's been the one that had to make the most adjustments out of
Jaylen. Okay, I don't care. Jaylen is most. He is the most. There's obviously too many cooks in the kitchen.
All right. So let's talk about it.
There's an elefante in the room. You know I want to talk about it.
When Jaylen comes back, does this starting lineup remain the same?
No, I think you find a suitor for Jaylen Brown. I think you just do it.
No, you talking about trading?
Yes.
No, I didn't want to talk about that.
I really feel like you need to.
I think Sean wants to talk about it.
Yeah, I'm ready to talk about it.
You right. I know you're right about it.
No, man, don't start talking about that because you know why? You know why? His stock is that his stock may be lower than it was when he came out of his rookie. As a rookie, when he first started.
Garcia, man!
Because, I mean, think about it. His
don't
stock
trade
is so
Jaylen,
low.
man.
All their stock is low. His stock is low. Tatum's stock is low. Rozier's stock is way low.
Yeah.
Like,
no,
I don't want to
hear
talk
you.
about trades right now.
No, okay. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself in trading, but I just think that you see that
there
is obviously too many mouths to feed on this team. You can get on Brad and say like, yeah, like we've been on Brad. I've been on Brad and say you need to figure out your starting lineup. You need to figure out how you're going to divvy up minutes. But if you got 9 guys that that you need to play 20 minutes a night, that's a recipe for disaster.
It's never going to work.
It's never gonna work. And like, you can't sit Jaylen Brown. Like, you can't sit him because guess what you do? Even worse than what's already happening. You diminish his trade value, right?
Well,
you can't sit Terry Rozier. What's gonna happen? You diminish his trade value.
Yeah, but what's wrong with the idea of having Jaylen Brown, Terry Rozier, and Aaron Baines be the first ones off the bench? I mean, that's a solid unit.
What about Gordon Hayward?
Oh, excuse me, Gordon Hayward. Wow, that's what I meant to say. Gordon Hayward. Those are your first three off the bench. You have Aaron Baines in the front court.
Baines is going to get minutes regardless because he's a big man. So
right.
You're obviously taking minutes away. There's just too many mouths to feed. That is the problem. There's too many.
Yeah,
you need to make a move. Well, yeah. You need to make a move.
The mouths to feed thing, okay, I get that. I agree with that notion.
Or somebody needs to get injured.
My point is, if this starting five has been the most successful starting five that we've seen,
sure,
stick with it.
Fine.
And then figure out the rest later. Everyone can figure out their roles on the fly because at this point, when you're 20% into the regular season and you're a 500 team for a team that has championship aspirations, you have to go with whatever fix right now.
Okay, but bro, it's one win, right? Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Even Brad was like, we're gonna go through, I'm quoting, paraphrasing what Brad said, after the Pelicans game, because we're gonna go through like hundreds of lineups before we actually even stick to one. Right?
Right, which has always been Brad's thing.
It's always been Brad's thing.
Yeah.
But in years past, it's kind of been forced on him because of injuries. This year, they've been relatively healthy. I know it was 20, 21 games into the season.
Right.
So, and that's where I also say, the whole trade talks thing, that's a little premature because what if the Celtics were, I don't know, 15-4? Are you like so excited? Like, oh, this team is definitely going to go to the finals, right? No one wins championships in November.
Bro, but yeah, that's totally different. That's like saying, what if like the Browns won the Super Bowl last year?
No, but what if the Celtics weren't a 500 team? Gordon Hayward is still playing like Gordon Hayward. Does it really matter though?
No, but that's why it matters. They're losing. Like whatever.
They're losing, but
at the end of the day, fine, whatever. It's
more
November basketball.
It's
fine.
more on Brad.
Say that all you want.
It's more on Brad though. That's what I'm saying.
It's not on Brad. It's about the makeup of this team. There's too many mouths to feed. There's too many people that want minutes, that demand shots, that aren't going to be able to, not play in a game one night.
It's still on Brad.
No one's getting a DMP.
Whose responsibility is that though?
It's Brad. If Brad is quote unquote the next Greg Popovich, figure it out. And it's only been 21 games.
But does Brad have the ability to say, "Hey, Danny, I'm not going to play Terry Rozier this week"?
Why? Why would he say that though?
He doesn't. Maybe he wants to cut his bench down. And now you got Semi Ojeleye playing really well too. Why wouldn't he play more Semi? You know what I mean? Like
but then you're talking about the backcourt though, because with the backcourt, I mean Terry Rozier, there's minutes there for him. It's not like he's stealing minutes from Brad Wanamaker. You know what I mean? Like in the backcourt, I mean, let's face it.
Why is his name so funny?
It's really it's Marcus Smart, it's Terry Rozier, and it's Kyrie Irving. I mean, those are your three. And look, if
Brad Wanamaker.
Marcus Smart makes all the difference defensively in the starting lineup, then Terry Rozier needs to figure things out, and that's on him. And I think he will. Like, he's a streaky player. We've talked about that before. But my whole thing with Brad Stevens, though, and we talked about this last week, is my problem is when you have someone like Gordon Hayward who is not giving you anything offensively, and you need an offensive push, and it's the end of the fourth quarter, and you decide to still put Gordon Hayward in the mix, in the lineup, on the floor, if you're creating plays for Gordon Hayward, that's a problem because that's an opportunity that should be given to somebody else.
Yeah, and so I agree. I think here's my major point on this is that great, you beat the Pelicans. You still lost 3 out of 4 to garbage teams. Garbage teams.
It's a turning point, Sean. Come on, man.
This is not a turning point.
This is
because no, it's not.
No.
Like, there are still major flaws with this team.
All right, so moving forward, though, what would be your starting five? What would you do if you're Brad Stevens?
I don't think it matters about the starting five. I think it matters about a shakeup of the actual makeup of the team.
Oh, so you're all about the trade.
You're talking about personnel. No, you're talking about rotation or
he's talking about personnel.
But why?
He's talking about shipping people out of here.
No, but
here's why.
That's a panic move in November.
We are how many games in the season?
21.
21 games into the season.
11-10, bro.
Easy math. 21 games into the season.
That I can do.
This team was supposed to be the hands down best team in the East.
All right.
This was supposed to be the second best team in the NBA.
Okay.
And they are 500. You know who's not 500? Like half the league. Half the league is better than the Celtics right now. Celtics are a middle of the road 7 or 8 seed scrub team now.
What's Brad Stevens going to do? Trade Jaylen Brown for a couple second rounders? I mean, like,
No,
that's
you don't
his
trade up a
value
second.
right now.
No, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. That's what you think is valuable.
All right. So then what about trading Gordon Hayward?
I think people who say that are dreaming.
Okay.
The Celtics have way too much invested in him. I think, it's like a great trade machine thing because you can get a big star back, but no one's taking on Gordon Hayward unless, I don't know, I think, seriously, the only person, I said it last episode, like a Kemba Walker type deal with expiring contract thing, but you don't want to get involved in that anyways.
What kind of deal would improve this team in November?
I literally think if
This isn't baseball where you can just trade, a $30 million player for a bag of balls.
I would like a bag of balls and a first round draft pick for Jaylen Brown. And
How's that going to match up salary wise?
Give me a vet. Give me some type of vet.
What you're looking for?
Give me like a 14, 15 year vet. You know what I mean? That's what his team needs.
You're looking for an addition.
Right, thank you, Kyrie.
That's the thing. You're looking for an addition.
Addition by subtraction. Hell yeah.
That doesn't work in the NBA.
And not by subtraction. Not by subtraction. You cash in on it. So like
but you can't trade for a couple of G leaguers that you can develop down
but you can,
up in
how much does
Or
Jaylen Brown make?
Or
How
a
much
player
does
to be
Jaylen Brown
named
make?
later. You
Why
can't
are we
do
even
that.
talking about trading
I
Jaylen
know,
Brown, man? You got
exactly.
me down this damn rabbit hole right now. Listen,
No.
you do not, the Celtics do not need to trade Jaylen Brown
You
right
don't
now.
have to trade anybody right
What
now.
everyone needs to do is carve out their roles. Brad Stevens needs to assign roles and figure it out.
His big boy pants and figure it out.
Exactly. I get it. He went the first 15 to 20 games with what he thought was the best route in terms of the starting unit, in terms of people getting minutes, divvying up minutes the way he thought was best fit, and it hasn't worked out for him. Listen, I'm not ready to fire Brad Stevens right now. Do I think it falls on him?
Yeah.
Yes. I think this record does fall on him, but he's still figuring it out. With that being said, what we saw against the Pelicans, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that this team's going to be, this is it. This is the big turning point we've been looking for.
Say that.
But no, it's a bright spot in what's been a very dark beginning.
It's a fucking win against a team you should beat. That shouldn't be a bright spot for any team.
They crushed them.
That's
what they need to do.
They had the same exact record, bro.
Listen, the Celtics have finally handed out 2 blowout losses.
Yay.
One to the Hawks, one to the Pelicans.
Oh wow, those teams were NBA Finals contenders this year.
And offensively, they've reached marks that they haven't reached all season long.
What about
we're
the
talking
Knicks?
about scoring, whether we're talking about not even just offense, defensively. They
What about the
turned
Mavericks?
22 turnovers into 32 points. They haven't done that all year long. That's the most they've ever converted into points. They just look better. And I haven't even been big on putting Marcus Morris into that starting lineup because I'm like, listen, don't mess with Marcus's confidence. Let Morris do what he does off the bench. But now I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence a bit right now.
That's how I felt about the possibility of Gordon Hayward coming off the bench before it actually happened. I was like, you're going to mess with this dude's psyche big time, but he's willing to do it.
Point when you're like,
yeah, I'm saying you got to tweak something. I get
right.
you. I understand. But I think Brad needs more of that, and you need more consistent wins. Like if they stay with this lineup and they go win 6 out of the next 8, then fuck it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right.
Listen, if we didn't try to get too high off the Raptors win, we can't get high off the Pelicans and Hawks win.
I don't think it's about
It's
the
not
win
about-
in
yeah,
itself,
yeah,
though.
yeah.
I think it's the overall body language of the team.
Not only that, they're off for a week almost, like 4 or 5 days.
Right, so that's going to play a big part too.
Yeah,
moving forward
you start right now. Brad has to go back to the drawing board and say, "Do I stick with this lineup? Is Jaylen Brown healthy? Do I keep Jaylen on the bench? Exactly. Like just start playing with these things.
I'm
Don't
just going to say this. I'm just going to say this. I think so. We said a couple episodes ago. Christmas is the make or break.
I was going to bring that up actually.
No, actually.
Are you still on that fence?
Yeah, no. Before you.
I mean, are you still on
before
that?
you answer that,
You still stand by that?
Before you answer that, this question was brought up about Gordon Hayward in preseason, and you said by the trading deadline, if he's not somewhat near himself, you're like it's going to be a problem.
Right.
So now you're saying Christmas, or you're just saying this team in
Oh,
general?
no. That was Gordon Hayward. This is for
So I thought
the team's performance overall.
Yes, when I said that about Hayward, I thought like the Celtics will be fine without Hayward. If he's not playing well, they'll obviously give him a lesser role and it'll be okay. Instead, you're trying to put a guy that looks like he's a middle league, what the fuck am I trying to say? Middle school basketball coach trying to work his way into.
I think you combine little league and middle.
Middle league.
Middle league.
What is middle league?
He's a fucking middle league basketball coach out there trying to prove himself to the Celtics, and you're giving him 40 minutes a night. Like, they need to pull him back. And I think, yeah, you still need to like let him go until the trade deadline. I'm a little worried about Hayward's usage. I'm not worried about Hayward's development because I think we all knew it was going to take some time.
Yeah.
But why are we forcing him into these games where we need to win? You know what I mean? So that's a separate story.
Gotcha.
But I think for this team, if they're one game over 500 and it's Christmas and you come out and you lose to the 76ers, who, by the way,
here we go.
are the best team in the Eastern Conference right now. Can anyone deny that?
I think the Raptors might.
Can anyone deny that?
Have something to say about
Can
that.
anyone deny the Philadelphia 76ers are the best team in the
man.
Raptors?
Still the Raptors.
The Raptors 17-4,
Absolutely not. Jimmy Butler is a man possessed right now. Anyways, Christmas is the make or break point. Christmas is the make or break point with this team. I think that obviously if we go like 4 or 5 games under 500, but until then you lose to the Cavs and then you lose a couple other games in a row here, and then you're looking at like losing like 7 of your last 9, then you're in trouble, right? But if they're still playing the same level and there's not a couple game win streak until Christmas, that is when all the shit hits the fan.
So all the Celtics need is like a good 4 or 5 game win streak right now. That's all they need.
That would be nice, but do you see that happening?
Well, I mean,
do you see it happening?
Since Kyrie's, fuck Thanksgiving comment, they've only lost once. So let's see.
They've only played 3 games.
Still, I'll take the good with the bad.
I got a problem with Kyrie saying "fuck Thanksgiving."
It's 2-1.
He apologized.
Of course you do. You would have a problem with
No,
that Kyrie Irving
I don't
said.
have a problem with him saying "fuck Thanksgiving."
Hey, he's a Navajo, remember?
But how the goddamn hell are you going to board the plane and the Celtics take a media picture of you boarding your stupid plane?
Look like some cranberry sauce you had in there.
There was squash, there was turkey, and there probably
Plenty
was
of gravy.
cranberry sauce.
There's
That was a
gravy in
Thanksgiving
there.
to-go plate, and he just has the audacity to bring that on the plate.
Well, Sean, speaking of planes,
He apologized.
are the oxygen masks out now?
The oxygen masks are out.
Come on.
The oxygen masks are out.
man.
No, 1,000%.
Even after the Pelicans win.
It doesn't matter about the Pelicans win. Like, this plane is going down. Unless,
All right, well, I must be Zach Braff in the middle of it then.
unless
I'm not worried.
Clint Eastwood,
I'm chilling.
Harrison
Zach
Ford,
Braff in Garden State.
Denzel Washington, or Tom Hanks are the pilots of these motherfucking planes. Or I'll even throw Samuel Jackson on there too. I'm telling you.
Sean is the people in the back freaking out.
I'm losing my mind.
In a beautiful world.
Yeah. Somebody's definitely whipped out their guitar and just like,
Yeah, we do.
strumming.
Don't panic.
I'm definitely panicking about this team.
November, bro. Don't panic.
I'm panicking.
I'll give you that. I'll
No.
give you the Christmas. All right. That's a month away.
Okay.
More than a month away.
But
5 weeks away.
I just don't see how, I don't, like, we've had very similar conversations about how this team should turn it around, right? It seems simple. Fix the lineup. Manage the minutes more. Brad Stevens needs more of a voice. Okay.
I don't know,
Like,
but
wait, hold on. Like, they haven't shown any type of consistency to show that this team is built for a deep run.
I just feel like a year ago, the only player the Celtics were missing was Gordon Hayward. They were what, 17-3, 18-3. Was anybody at that time saying, "Oh, they're definitely going to the NBA Finals"? No.
There was a guy named LeBron that played in the Eastern Conference.
But regardless, though, you're adding one more player. No, I'm saying a year later, you're adding one more player, and this is quote unquote the best team Brad has ever coached, right? Talent wise, up and down, at any level. So I'm going to put it on Brad. It's up to him to figure this shit out.
But what if figuring it out is getting rid of a piece?
But it's not up to him though to get rid of a piece.
All right, here I'm gonna put this to you.
Just like you said about benching people.
Yeah, if he's going to bench someone, he's not going to go to Danny and say, "Hey, Danny, can I bench?" No, he's going to fucking do it.
When do you?
Hold on. The same way he had the third stringers played the other night, last week at home. He was like, "You guys suck tonight, and you guys don't deserve to fucking try to get us back in this game. I'm gonna throw the third stringers in." He needs to do more shit like that to wake them up.
You have to make one of these moves this year Do you trade Jaylen Brown or fire Brad Stevens?
I have to make a move. Like, why? What?
That's a dumb question.
You have to make a move.
Yeah, you would trade Jaylen Brown. Come on, man.
You would trade Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not even the easier thing to do, though. The easier thing to do would be to get rid of Brad. That's
plus,
the
you're not
easiest
going
thing
to just
do.
trade
But
Jaylen to trade
what
Jaylen.
I'm saying is,
Like, you just,
firing Brad Stevens does not help this team get better.
because you just think that Jaylen Brown is the problem. That right?
I don't think it's Jaylen Brown. I think it's the fact that this team has Jason Tatum, Gordon Hayward, Jaylen Brown, Marcus Morris, all playing the same exact position, the same exact role, all trying to get the most minutes and to see who's effective. You could even throw Marcus Smart into that mix because he sometimes plays that position as well.
Okay.
Like, there is too many wings on this team,
All
and
right.
there's not enough ball to go around, especially when your number one offensive player is the point guard. So there's not even the number one player in that group of five that demands the ball.
All right. Different sport. How did the Red Sox pull that off with all this multiple players playing the same position? Alex Cora, right? He says, no, you're going to play when I tell you you're going to play.
Who, like Steve Pierce?
MVP of the fucking World Series.
Brock Holt
Had
some huge hits.
All right.
Huh?
So this would be
my homie Rafi.
Come
on. Come on. Come on, Rafi.
All right. I mean, it's a lot easier in baseball to do that because
My point is like it's
I don't know if that I don't know. I get what you're saying there and how
it's like,
Alex
again,
Cora was able to manage that situation, but it's also a lot different when you have an up and coming superstar in Jason Tatum, a guy that you paid $30 million a year. You have arguably your second best player to play in the season so far in Marcus Morris, and then you have the number 3 overall pick. Like, these aren't Steve Pierce, Brock Holt. These aren't utility guys. These are guys that need minutes and are expecting minutes, and especially.
But isn't that part of the growth process though?
What restrict minutes?
No, not restrict minutes. Is know when, in terms of Brad Stevens, isn't that the best way to teach guys like you were needed last season during the playoffs because we were missing X and Y. Okay, great. Now this time around we have to add these other pieces and you have to, I don't know, like learn how to fucking play with these guys.
Nah, I don't think so because I think it would be a lot easier if Gordon Hayward was playing well and Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown were playing well consistently every single night.
If Gordon Hayward was playing well, I think that would be worse.
No, I think it'd be better because then I think you could look at Jaylen Brown and say, listen, we're paying $30 million for this guy. He's a proven superstar in the league. He's earned his stripes. You need to take a back seat. But when Jaylen Brown is playing like shit, but still playing better than Gordon Hayward, then you have a problem there. Then it's
well, that's what he reacted. He was like, all right, Gordon Hayward, you come off the bench.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what he does with Jaylen Brown moving forward because of obviously what happened worked against the Pelicans. They just looked better overall as a starting unit.
Yeah, there was nobody trying to like dunk balls. They had
beforehand though, Jaylen Brown's been
dunking.
He's been making strides into improving or at least carving out the role that he thinks is best fit for him. Like, I just think Brad Stevens has a tough decision to make whether he benches Jaylen or not. It's going to have repercussions to it. You got Marcus Morris in the mix. You got Al Horford who bounced back. I mean, I think Marcus Morris in that lineup played a part in Al Horford putting together his best game of the season against the Pelicans, which I think is overlooked because, like Sean said, it's the Pelicans, and because I think these games from Al Horford sort of tend to come together every, 7-8 games, you know? That's sort of been his track record since he's been with the Celtics. So I'm not sure if it's a testament of just Al Horford being Al, putting together that game where he just kind of goes off, or is this a direct effect of the lineup change of Marcus Morris being next to him?
Well, I think it's both. I think Marcus Morris, I think he had 11 rebounds, if I'm not mistaken, against the Pelicans.
I just feel like
it allowed Al to be roam.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like it had a lot to do with him having more open looks because of Marcus Morris.
And Marcus Morris was cleaning up the glass with offensive rebounds and putting up, second chance points.
At the same time, I mean, we saw Al struggle at the 5 at some points last year. But at other times against certain lineups, and when you put him at the 5 and you went small, like he'd be great.
Yeah.
So I think it's all matchup based. Like I think
Like I think he does well when Baines is in there.
He does well as a 4 when Baines is in there.
And then recently with
But
Morris
that's a whole
in there
new
as
role.
well. But I mean, when you have Gordon in there and Jason Tatum, then
It gets crowded.
I hope it's like I gotta
gotta be the
rebound,
4 and the 5.
I gotta block, I gotta
Yep.
you know shoot 2 and then pass, and then
Yep. No, I think, truthfully, I mean, this year's MVP so far is Marcus Morris, in my opinion. Hands down.
He's been the most consistent, I think.
Without Marcus Morris, this team, which is crazy to think, but with all the talent that's on this team, Marcus Morris is the most valuable player on this team. The guy that people freaked out when we traded Avery Bradley for. Most valuable player.
So
in the
you're
team.
starting him or what?
The guy who has the
Marcus Morris? Yeah, I'm not
the most
letting-
trade value right now, ironically.
Yes, I'm not sitting him. I'm not doing anything with. I'm playing Marcus Morris.
His minutes have been the same.
30 minutes a night.
Yeah.
Whether he comes off the bench, they've been the same.
Yep. I would just start him. I would just start him, and I would. If you know what, if you're going to start Baines, I don't care. Start Morris as well.
Did seeing Anthony Davis make you think how good he would be in a Celtics uniform any more than you already did?
Good segue.
Yeah, I guess so. We can talk about this shit.
Sean's not looking forward to this conversation whatsoever,
Nah, man, I
but there's a
hate these
twist to it, though.
rumors, bro.
Listen,
Yo,
there's a
look.
twist to this one, though, because a lot of people are overlooking the Derrick Rose rule here, okay? The Rose rule is in place, especially when we're talking about guys like Kyrie Irving and Anthony Davis teaming up. Now, the Rose rule, for those who don't know, is when a team is allowed to re-sign their rookie after their rookie deal and give them 30% of a bonus in comparison to what other teams can offer. Now, Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving are both signed under this rule, under the Rose rule. And since the new CBA, no team is allowed to have two guys sign under the same rule on the same roster. So that doesn't allow the Celtics to trade for Anthony Davis and still have Kyrie Irving in the same contract.
Yeah, I don't think Anthony Davis is going anywhere this year. That's just me.
I don't think so either, but for a hypothetical standpoint,
Well,
let's
hypothetically,
say,
I want both.
Let's say if he's
That's
going
just
to
me.
leave, let's say the report is true and that come February, the Pelicans are still in the middle of the Western Conference, not going to make the playoffs, a 500 team. And according to this report, that's when the Pelicans will look to deal Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is down to leave if that's the situation that he finds himself in. Good chance that's going to happen. If this means the Celtics cannot trade for him this season, would you be willing to give up Kyrie Irving
Nope.
to trade for Anthony Davis?
Nope.
Sean, where do you fall on this? Because I'm dying to know, as someone who's been so critical with Kyrie
1000%
Irving.
I would do that.
You would do that.
In a heartbeat.
No, I wouldn't do it.
Why? Well, I'll tell you why I would. Anthony Davis is a better player than Kyrie Irving.
Well, I do agree with that, but then you're back to where you kind of are right now.
You're the Pelicans of the East.
No,
How?
no,
How?
not
You're
necessarily.
almost the Pelicans of the East.
Not
You
necessarily.
basically
Like,
you're basically trading heads up, right?
Because who's your closer? Is it going to be Anthony Davis? Can Terry Rozier lead this team to a championship?
It's called Jason Tatum.
Oh yeah, he's looked great.
Yeah.
He's looked good, but is he ready to be that guy? See, this is my thing. Like down the road,
Like why didn't they get past Cleveland last year?
Long term?
Because they didn't have a closer in game 7.
exactly. Long term, this looks good, but short term, it's almost like you went from being 10 feet away from this championship window to now you're down the hall and to the left. You know what I mean? Like, because you don't know if these guys are ready. I mean, okay, they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals last year, but how did Terry Rozier look on the road? He looked awful. Is Jason Tatum ready to be that
Not
guy?
awful. He looked all right.
On
Not
the road?
awful. Yeah. he
I
looked
don't
all right.
know.
I mean, again, game 6 in Cleveland?
How about Game 7 in Boston? This was the only bad home game
That
he
was the
had
only home-
throughout the
yeah, okay.
postseason. I just don't know if he's ready for that.
I don't think you should. I think both players are a little bit injury prone. Kyrie versus Anthony Davis, right? Long term though, who would you rather want? Who's younger? Who has a longer career in the NBA?
Aren't they both the same age? They're both 25?
Yeah, they're both the same age.
They're both the same age.
But you want to put those guys together, man. That's my thing.
Yeah, I
you
say
don't
you
want
put them together.
You don't want to get one and then the other. And if you missed out on Anthony Davis, then so be it. This team is the roster that you want to be with. This is the team that we think can compete for a championship for the next 3 or 4 years. So be it. If you don't get Anthony Davis, you don't get Anthony Davis. But I still think the Celtics still have a chance to get him after this. It just gets a lot more complicated.
I think you would be perfectly fine with an up-and-coming lineup with Anthony Davis and Terry Rozier at the starting point guard. If you have Terry Rozier...
You think that team can compete with the Warriors?
Rozier, basically what you're doing.
No team can compete with the Warriors. Remember?
Yeah, that's
Marcus Cousins.
That's true. When Cousins comes back, it's a wrap.
Yeah,
but
that's your
Correct.
Anthony Davis. He wants him
Correct.
to be in the Celtics uniform, not Anthony Davis.
direct quote.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. You put the team that went to Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals last year and basically plug in Anthony Davis instead of Kyrie Irving. I think I'd like that better.
Yeah, but
Because
okay.
I think Anthony Davis can obviously play off the ball and allow a lot of other players to get involved a lot more often.
Okay, but there's no guarantee he's going to re-sign in New Orleans. Kyrie Irving. Most likely he's going to walk. You just traded Anthony Davis for nothing.
Yeah.
For a rental.
What makes them think that they're
Which
going
is
to take that
exactly
deal?
why I think this is a stupid conversation.
Well, you can still offer draft picks. You can still offer
Why
a
you
lot.
do that?
The Celtics have plenty of. What do you mean? The Sacramento Kings pick? The Celtics have up to.
Why are you going to do that? Why don't you just draft Zion Williamson? Jesus Christ.
Well, I don't think they go that low. They're looking pretty good.
Number 7 in the West, guys. Sacramento Kings.
Look, I just think a lot of people would be willing to sacrifice Kyrie Irving to see Anthony Davis in the Celtics uniform. I don't think that's the right thing. I don't think that's best for this team.
I think based on what people saw last year, that's what they're going off of. Like,
Exactly.
Terry can lead this team, but then what if Terry walks? What if Terry says, no, fuck you.
Well,
you guys are all
the
about.
Celtics will lock him, man.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
He would be the new Kyrie Irving deal. He would be the new.
I don't know.
He would be the new Rose.
Like we
Rose
couldn't figure something out before the season.
Rose rule.
Everybody's all about Kyrie. Kyrie says he's going to re-sign. Now you guys decide to trade him. Oh, now you guys need me. What if Terry walks? Then what?
Nah, man.
You got Marcus Smart running this team?
Terry would be the happiest guy on the team. He'd be like, this is it. This is the situation I want to be in.
That's what he wanted.
Yeah, that's what he wants all along. He loves the city. He loves the team.
All in all, I
he
think
wants to
it's
be the main guy.
Stupid conversation to have about trading for Anthony Davis. It's just so many dumb things like these roles. Like if it was just straight up like you could trade for him right now, then it'd be.
You could. What do you mean?
But you have to trade Kyrie. That's what I mean.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though.
Yeah, no.
That's what I.
You just said you're willing to do
I
that.
obviously am willing to do this if it's fantasy fucking basketball or like, but like what, how does that make sense for any team? Like you have to think about the Pelicans, right? I'm not going to give up a bunch of draft picks to get Anthony Davis just because you're going to take my best player for 6 months. Like it just doesn't make logical sense for anybody to do it. Just wait for Kyrie to walk at the end of the year, then figure out how to get Anthony Davis.
Yeah,
We've talked about this before the season.
Okay, well,
Jalen
we all
Rose,
said
Jalen
we'll
Rose
just wait for him to be a free agent.
Jalen Rose just wanted to stir the pot on this conversation
Yes,
about
this
getting
is
rid of Kyrie.
stupid.
Yeah.
Well, what about
Stupid.
What's the alternative for the Pelicans? Like, what's out there for them to?
Well, that's why I don't think he's going anywhere this year. During the summer,
whether it's this year or next year, like, what's the alternative?
No,
I
because-
trade him for Luka Doncic.
Like this list is crazy. You got the Knicks, you got the Lakers. Like, which one of those teams are going to give up? The Philadelphia 76ers? What are they going to give up? Ben Simmons? Like, they don't have anything to offer these guys.
The Lakers could make a package built around Brandon Ingram.
yeah, but the report is
That was a joke. That's a fucking
no, but the report is
Money wise, they
he
could.
sucks.
He's not great, but they
No,
could.
but the report
No, I
is
love how Lakers fans think that. They're like, no, we can trade Ingram and Kuzma and get a big time player. Like we could get Kawhi for that, you know?
the report is him, Anthony Davis saying, allegedly or reportedly, that if New Orleans wants to trade me,
These are my teams.
these are the teams that
Yeah.
I'd be open to, but he still wants to remain in New Orleans.
He's
and
going
New
to
Orleans,
stay in New Orleans until he's
and New
done
Orleans
being a
can-
free agent,
yeah.
and then he's going to walk. Like,
there's
enjoy
2
the
more
time
years.
you're there.
There's 2 more years after this.
That's it. That's it. Why do we keep revisiting this shit?
Yo, we haven't talked about Anthony Davis since like August. So
It's
I don't know why you keep saying that. When's the last time we talked about Anthony Davis?
every 2 months we talk about this motherfucker.
Nah, 3 months.
All right, every 3 months.
Well, because the Celtics are playing the way they're playing, it's going to be talked about. A trade or
Yeah.
some sort of trades are going to be
But
brought
there's
up.
also a national
What about-
story, and the Celtics just play the Pelicans.
What about the
I thought
Celtics?
that was pretty damn relevant.
What about the Celtics trading for LeBron James? That'd be nice.
That's not a story. Nor is it
Could be.
relevant whatsoever, because Celtics haven't played the Lakers.
When they do,
No, man, it's the story.
we'll bring it out.
This is current events, Sean.
No, I do love how
The
like
national stories don't circulate around Causeway Street.
And
Yeah,
the Celtics in the next 2 years could try to acquire Anthony Davis without getting rid of Kyrie Irving. I'm all for it. But until then,
That's gonna be very, very, very difficult. That's kind of my point in this whole
Jaylen
thing.
Brown.
No, Jaylen Brown. That would okay. That's $5 million.
or they could try to re-sign him, or they try to sign him straight out in 2 years. Even better.
Because this is the thing about trading for Anthony Davis. All the contract fillers are no longer available. There's no Terry Rozier. He's a free agent. There's no Marcus Morris. Guys who could fill the cap space.
There's Gordon Hayward.
Gordon Hayward.
Hey, in 2 years?
Talking about.
Or you have to hope they take Al Horford for a year for a rental just to match up salaries. Like, all I'm saying is this. The Celtics, they have to wait till he becomes a free agent, so you can wait about 2 years for that to happen.
I'm saying, like, and within that time period, Gordon Hayward has 2 years left on his deal at that point, right?
Yeah, but
Within that time period, you should have won a championship. So we'll see what happens.
not only that, but
you want to keep that window open.
We're all going to find out that he's a 14 to 15 point player, and that's it.
Yeah, but within that time period, you could also not sign Kyrie. You could also trade Terry Rozier. This team will look a lot different by the time Anthony Davis is a free agent.
You're going to not sign Kyrie and then trade Rozier?
I'm just saying, no, a lot of things can happen with this team. You could trade Jaylen Brown. You could trade whoever. Like, Kyrie could go down with another knee injury. This team has a lot of ways it could look. That's why I think it's just like, this is stupid to talk. You think it's bad me hitting the panic button in November? Talking about trading a guy that realistically won't be able to be traded for until Kyrie re-signs a long-term deal or leaves is crazy to be talking about in November, in my opinion.
Who the Celtics going to play after Friday?
Cavs, dude. Cavs are here.
After Friday.
Cavs are here.
After Friday.
Cavs are here.
Who are they going to play?
Good question.
Sean takes his phone out.
All right. So Friday, Causeway Street's going to be in the building. Beep, beep, beep. Yeah, Causeway Street.
Is it a home game?
It's a home game.
All right.
Cavaliers travel to Boston to play the Celtics.
Thought you guys are traveling to Cleveland there.
Remember
the Q.
Remember, the East goes through Cleveland this year.
That's right.
All right.
Just ask J.R. Smith. Oh, wait. He's chilling.
This is a big game. I would trade Jaylen Brown for J.R. Smith. This is a big game.
God.
This is a big game for the Celtics to take down the reigning Eastern Conference champions.
The 4-time.
Yeah. Basically the dynasty of the Eastern Conference.
Yes.
Celtics need to take them down if they mean business this year.
Yeah. They're actually looking to trade for Markelle Fultz. Do you know that?
Who?
The Cavs. Your boy Markelle.
Be a great fit. Back-to-back alert. Back-to-back alert. What? Celtics then travel. Play a 7 o'clock game on a Friday night. Travel to Minnesota the next day. And play the Timberwolves.
How does that make sense?
Right, that's strange. Time zone cross.
I don't think.
Let me guess, it's a 1 o'clock start.
Friday, Saturday, back to back.
I don't think a lot of people have talked about how fucked up this schedule's been for the Celtics in this first month.
Well, you saw this coming though, because if you have 3 days off out of nowhere, you best to believe that it's a stupid back to back coming up.
But like even like before that, like half of October and half of this month, it's been some weird.
All right.
Games.
Very true. And you know what? I have been not acknowledging that fact.
And you've been looking ahead.
I have been looking ahead. Either way, I'm going to say this. I'm going to just read 5 teams to you. And you tell me if the Celtics are better than these 5 teams. Are the Celtics better than the Cavaliers?
Yes.
Are the Celtics better than the Timberwolves?
Yes.
But this doesn't mean anything because
are the Celtics better than the Knicks?
A lot of teams that are freaking not
yes,
better.
But they've lost the Knicks already.
Are the Celtics better than the Bulls?
Yes.
Are the Celtics better than the Pelicans?
Yes.
Okay, so all I'm saying is, and after that is the Wizards and Hawks and Pistons and Suns. They don't play a legitimate playoff team until 4 days before frickin' Christmas, alright? They should be mopping the fucking floor with this schedule in the next 6 or 7 games. If they're going to turn things around before Christmas, they need to do it right now. They need to go on a 5, 6, 7 game winning streak.
Mark it down, Sway. When they beat the Pelicans and then go on this little 6, 7 game win streak here, we'll see. We'll know. And this was the moment they turned it around.
Right now.
When Stevens made that lineup change.
Right here, right now.
That was the turning point.
There'll be books written about it.
The infamous turning point.
The infamous turning point of the season.
For the champion, Celtics, 2019.
Maybe Bob Ryan can write it while brushing his teeth.
Jesus.
And they all fall out. That's why he doesn't brush them.
Well, it's been a while since you brought that up. So
Crack teeth. All right, no, but for real, Cavs, that should be a win. The back-to-back is tricky. So the back-to-back is tricky, right? I'll give them a little bit of leeway there.
I'm going to give them leeway because all the stars will be chilling in the fourth quarter.
Actually, no. Wait, though. No, they don't get any leeway right now. They've had leeway, right? They need to win on a back-to-back.
You've given them way more leeway than they should have.
Have they won on a back-to-back? I know they've lost, and that's probably the only back-to-backs they've had this season. I know they've lost their last 3 back-to-backs.
Yeah, Celtics suck on the second night of a back-to-back. Celtics suck.
Yeah. So you're finally going to give them a loss? There you go. Good for you.
No, I should have given them a loss. I'm just saying, so this is, I swear, I've said this a lot. This is the last time I'm going to say that they're going to go undefeated. If they don't, then I'm just going to say that they suck and they're never going to win another game the rest of the season.
So you're still going to say they're going undefeated? Okay.
Sway, I can't literally sit here and say
just to be clear
that they should lose to the Cavaliers. No way they should lose to the Cavaliers. They should beat the Cavaliers by 30 points. If the Timberwolves comes down to the wire, guess what? Nut up, sack the fuck up time. You're on a back-to-back. You get 5 Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off. You get 4 days off after that game. Play your back-to-back, travel, nut the fuck up, and win. Get on a 3-game winning streak.
Travel halfway across the country.
I would love to hear Brad Stevens say that. Nut the fuck up. I think that would help.
I think that would help.
No, I'm serious. I think it would help. Who knows? Maybe he's doing that. We don't know. All right, so 3-0.
I'm going to include 4-0. I'm going to say the Bulls.
What day is the Bulls on?
Saturday.
Yeah, throw them in there.
Knicks. So,
wait,
okay.
what?
Cavs, Celtics, Knicks, Bulls. Cavs, Celtics, Knicks, Bulls. 4-0. Those are shitty teams, bro. They should be 4-0, hands down.
Yeah, well,
they could be playing in a back-to-back.
The same thing about the Knicks. You said the same
I'm telling
thing about
you, bro.
The Jazz.
I'm telling you, this is the last time I'm going to do this. I've been
the last time I'm going to do this.
I've been
same
positive
thing about the Magic.
I've been positive.
Dallas.
I
told you about Dallas last week too. I said, "Lo, I don't know about that Dallas game."
Yeah, Dallas has been overlooked this season.
Yeah,
no, shut
the
up.
Knicks in New Orleans. I was like, okay, but Dallas, they were just coming off that Warriors win. They were feeling themselves heading into that game.
Nah, man, they weren't.
Okay, no, they weren't. Okay,
thank you. No, man, I just think you can't lose to this many bad teams. You need to start winning.
I don't know about that Minnesota game.
All I know. Okay, here's the thing.
Only because of the travel. Like if it wasn't back to back, they had like a day in between, but traveling halfway across the fucking country.
But they need to win.
I know. I'm not saying that they don't need to win.
So if they, what is?
I don't think that's a gimme or givey or whatever. What am I trying to say? I don't think it's a
gimme.
Gimme. Thank you.
A give me. Either way, this team needs to turn around.
I don't think it's a layup. All right.
It's not a
They're
Brad
happy.
Stevens ball buster.
I know Minnesota right now is happy that Jimmy Butler's gone, so they're playing like they have nothing to lose.
They all have their lunch money now.
They're all like we can roam the halls again.
I can roam the halls free without worrying about a wedgie.
We no more bully Butler.
That guy was an asshole.
Like you went to the Principal Tibbs, and he was like, "Well, you shouldn't have been roaming the halls when he's in the halls."
But then finally he did something to get himself expelled. Like, thank God.
Tibbs was just like, "I've had enough. You've done nothing in my benefit. You've been expelled." Brought in the exchange student and
bringing the exchange student. Yeah.
Sorry. What was the other one? Covington.